by the Constitutional Review Committee, including extending presidential terms and decentralizing local governance. All of this coming up now. Please stay with us. Thank you very much for keeping us company. My name again is Helena Nyeweja, and we start from here. The High Court of Justice, Human Rights Division 2, Accra, presided over by His Lordship Justice Nana Brew, has this morning delivered its judgment in Bridget O2 and 2 others versus the Inspector General of Police and Attorney General, condemning police misconduct and human rights violations during the Occupy Jilobi protest in September 2023. The court ruled that officers of the Ghana Police Service violated the fundamental rights of journalists and activists and they were duty-bound to protest. Now, Justice Brew described the conduct of the police as unconstitutional, citing physical assault and unlawful interference. Bridget Otu, who was assaulted, blouse ripped apart by officers, Metro TV's Vanessa Idotom Boatin unlawfully detained, phone seized to block recording of brutality, and Judge Janine Anyang slapped, punched, and hit with metallic belt and baton have been granted all relief sought with adjusted compensation by the court. Compensation damages of 100,000 cedis, general damages of 50,000 cedis, legal costs of 30,000 cedis, and an unqualified apology by the police in the Daily Graphic. Before we speak to counsel for the applicants, let's take you back to the day the event unfolded.
Who is a protester? No, wasn't a protester. He was playing basketball. So you see around this church, was Christ the King, there's a basketball area there. So the boy was supposed to play basketball. So, and the police in their swoop, as they do with the other crime events, swoop and just carried him along. So he's been here waiting to hear from her son. And she spoke to me. So I get to the gate and I tell the policeman to go in there. And he tells me there's nobody. I said, but you've just taken people in there. You have just taken people in there. So whilst we were standing outside waiting, he says he would not allow us in. At the time, Vanessa was inside, and I was scared for Vanessa because we had sent her out, and the police have guns. They are being hostile to anybody who is in there. So while I was waiting, the police charged us at. We didn't provoke them, nothing. We were just standing. He charged, opened the gates and charged, and picked as many people as they could grab. I want to believe that it's because maybe I'm a woman. That's why they didn't grab me. I had a phone of a gentleman who is still inside. Please give me the phone. I don't know the person's name. He's called George. They said the guy is called George. I was holding his phone while I was talking to him because he was also asking me a question. And they pulled the guy away. He did nothing.
They pulled him even though he's done nothing.
Pulled him. And the policeman, trying to grab him and me, ripped my shirt. Ripped my shirt. So I am standing here half naked. I thank whoever, I don't know who gave me this, but somebody gave me this so I could wrap around my middle because, I am not comfortable. They have stolen other people's phone, police officers. They have stolen, they didn't even take the phone, they stole it from people who are not agitating. So they are in there, wait after 5 minutes, we're just standing outside in front of the police station so that we can bail. I even thought I could act as a surety for people so I could bail people because they haven't committed a crime. Now one has stolen money and he's walking free. They just came out in red and black. So if we can even stand and bail people, bail them. That's all we did. Then they charge us and take people in. There's a guy who will come out and say, so 1, 2, 3, pick them, take them inside. 1, 2, that is all they do. Not that people are fighting police. Spoke to me about her son, who is a protester. No, wasn't a protester. He was playing.
Now, counsel for applicant Samson Ladi Ayenini has joined me on phone for a conversation. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, if you're able to hear me.
Good afternoon, I can hear you.
Great. Now, it has been 2 years. What are your reactions to the ruling?
Well, what we put before the court has found appropriately.
If you can kindly speak up for us so we are able to hear you clearly.
Were violated in the manner that we complained about in the suit. Bridget Otu, you just played a video a while ago about how she was manhandled and assaulted and her dress, ripped apart. Your own Vanessa Edutom Boateng and George Jennings, who was an ordinary man who was streaming the developments at the police regional office, also got assaulted. And so the court has rightly found that in fact and indeed they were assaulted, their fundamental human rights were breached, and more importantly, that they are journalists who had a duty to do a duty that is conferred on them by the Constitution, and they were violated in that manner, prevented from doing their job as required by law. So we are happy on that score that justice has been done.
Great. Now, do you think the ruling sets a good enough example or stance on police conduct and handling of future protests?
I am familiar with these human rights actions, against the police and other security agencies, and even, actors, public actors, including political party actors, but my disappointment has always been when the court finds, in fact, as a matter of fact, that their rights have been breached and they have been abused in the manner they have, and yet the compensation damages is normally not sufficient enough. The least we were asking for is that they should be appeased with about $1 million, Ghana cedis for the main, compensatory damages, and then, general damages looked at differently. But the most important point is that justice has been served. And those who thought that Bridget, Vanessa, and the rest of them were acting, lawless or were doing something wrong,
right,
now we know that they were not doing anything wrong, except they were exercising their constitutional rights, and they were violated the way they were. The apologies that are done publicly, somebody will say all of that will assist to be a deterrence, but I suppose that our courts must look forward to hefty damages so that it will be a sufficient deterrence, because some of these damages, almost all of them, the officers who misconducted themselves are not the ones who are, pulling the money from their pockets. That's the thing. It all boils down to state money, really.
So what is going to happen to those people? They are supposed to actually pay them. Why is it that they are not going to pay? Because if they are not paying, then they are not going to feel it really. And would they even learn any lesson since the money is not coming from their pockets?
It's the police, and the police will pay. It is up to the police to decide what it does with those officers who misconducted themselves.
Okay, you also mentioned that they should fight for, you are looking at $1 million cedis. What are we going to do in the nearby future if such things happen? Are you going
like
to
I
fight?
said, I believe that the posture of the courts, the attitudes of the courts in these kinds of actions, I've done several of them where journalists have been manhandled, and the courts often don't seem to be willing to give, adequate compensation. And that's my worry. I believe that they themselves will, think about these things and reconsider the quantum of damages that they award.
Your final word before we take leave of you this afternoon.
Justice has been done. The rights of Bridget, Vanessa, and George have been upheld, and they have been vindicated. And that, for us, is the most important. We will wait to have the police issue the necessary apologies. This will not be the first time they will do so, but we hope that when they do, they make sure they train their officers to avoid, attacking not just journalists, but any ordinary member of the society when they are doing the right things, exercising their constitutional rights. Is wrong for them who are supposed to guard them, like the judge said, who are supposed to protect them, to turn around to be the ones who abuse them.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. That was Counsel Samson Ayenini. Let's take a look at the video again, taking you back to 2024.
A protester. No, it wasn't a protester. He was playing basketball. So you see around this church, was it Christ the King? There's a basketball area there. So the boy was supposed to play basketball. So, and the police in their swoop, as they do with the other crime events, swoop and just carried him along. So he's been here waiting to hear from her son. And she spoke to me. So I get to the gate and I tell the policeman to go in there. And he tells me there's nobody. I said, but you've just taken people in there. You have just taken people in there. So whilst we were standing outside waiting, he says he would not allow us in. At the time, Vanessa was inside and I was scared for Vanessa because we had sent her out and the police have guns. They are being hostile to anybody who is in there. So while I was waiting, the police charged us out. We didn't provoke them, nothing. We're just standing. He charged, opened the gates and charged and picked as many people as they could grab. I want to believe that it's because maybe I'm a woman. That's why they didn't grab me. I had a phone of a gentleman who is still inside. Please give me the phone. I don't know the person's name. He's called George. They said the guy is called George. I was holding his phone while I was talking to him because he was also asking me a question. And they pulled the guy away. He did nothing.
They pulled him even though he's done nothing.
Pulled him. And the policeman, trying to grab him and me, ripped my shirt. Ripped my shirt. So I am standing here half naked. I thank whoever, I don't know who gave me this, but somebody gave me this so I could wrap around my middle because, I mean, I am not comfortable. They have stolen other people's phone, police officers. They have stolen, they didn't even take the phone, they stole it from people who are not agitating. So they are in there, wait after 5 minutes, we're just standing outside in front of the police station so that we can bail. I even thought I could act as a surety for people so I could bail people. Because they haven't committed a crime. Now one has stolen money and he's walking free. They just came out in red and black. So if we can even stand and bail people, bail them. That's all we did. Then they charge us and take people in. There's a guy who will come out and say, so 1, 2, 3, pick them, take them inside. 1, 2, that is all they do. Not that people are fighting police. Oh.
Spoke to me about her son, who is a protester.
Definitely, this will serve as a deterrent to others moving forward. Definitely, justice has also been served. But away from that, the Ghana Police Service has made a breakthrough in an ongoing child trafficking investigation, arresting a midwife in connection with a criminal syndicate. Lucinda Naomi Otri, who was in charge of the maternity and labor ward at the Trust Mother and Child Hospital in Osu, is currently in custody. Investigations reveal she allegedly paid 55,000 Ghana cedis for 2 victims, including a 5-year-old girl who remains missing. Authorities are now appealing to the public for information that could help locate the child and dismantle the rest of the network. We have more in the following report.
Police rescued 2 child trafficking victims and appeal for the return of a missing 5-year-old girl. The Ghana Police Service has arrested an additional suspect in connection with an ongoing child trafficking investigation that has already led to the rescue of 2 child victims. The latest suspect, identified as Lucinda Naomi Otri, a midwife in charge of the maternity and labor ward at Trust Mother and Child Hospital at Osu, has been arrested for her involvement in the trafficking network. Preliminary investigations indicate that suspect Lucinda Naomi Otri received the missing 7-year-old girl from suspect Janet Labi and reportedly paid an amount of 20,000 Ghana cedis to facilitate the transaction. Investigations further reveal that the suspect also allegedly gave an additional 35,000 Ghana cedis to Janet Labi and instructed her to send another victim, a 5-year-old girl, to a couple residing at Pokwase. The police have gathered intelligence suggesting that the syndicates have been involved in child trafficking activities for a considerable period.
Away from that, despite a drop in inflation, some citizens living in Accra are concerned about the high cost of living in the capital. The high rest charges, transport fares, and relatively high cost of foodstuff are choking them as there have been no significant increments in their monthly salaries.
I think nothing has changed. You know, in the books, it looks so beautiful. Inflation is good. But then it doesn't reflect in the normal daily, style of living. You go to the market, though we are not having galloping inflation, prices are not on the low side, and then there's not much money in the system. And so people struggle to make ends meet. As for the figures, it's to make the books fine, but in reality, it's not what we see, and it's been of old. It's something that has gone on for a longer time.
It's not reflecting. The cost of living is even becoming difficult, because when you go out there, whatever you, there has been a drop of things, but still we don't see. When you go out there, things are expensive.
Ghana had the penny for in Shishano, me for so much share. Almost so. Next no, almost come rough a case now. Yeah, was here no. Yet I say moon bet. Ghana and Shishano, and penny for no. There's something to me, see. Say inflation at my form. Now ye ain't must say about for my ye ain't Ghana man. Ye ain't what on mine. Ye ain't face. Ye ain't him say about for. But you say no. Most of my titanium muscle, but ye near a ton, Sana a ton. It's a market, Okotomo, 5 kilo. City a ton, Sana a ton, and what Sana a ton. And Sebi, Sika Sam so dear, and ye in an air Benjuma. Ye be so a crane, Sanujuma, or Momun Sanujuma, Edipa Upa. But say a money man ain't man yet standard, ama or mine, Sana Becono. Yen share no more so amofo say ne makos aba form be yen wo form ne de ehuni sa.
First of all, the high cost of living is very high because when you go to stores, the way they sell things is very expensive. You understand? And moreover, it's we the Ghanaians that we make things high for because things are very expensive. You understand? Things are very expensive because let's take the pure water sellers like this. Some sell pure water like 50 pesos. Some also sell it 70 pesos, 80 pesos. So the price is not stable. You understand? So the high cost of living there is very high.
Away from that, let's do some politics now. The 2028 presidential candidate for the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, says the party can return to power in the 2028 general elections if members remain united and committed to hard work. According to him, the task ahead will not be easy, but opposition party is determined to begin preparations early to position itself strongly for the next election. Dr. Bawumia made the remarks while addressing selected leaders of the Tertiary Students Confederacy ahead of training program.
A great evening to herald the training program that you are going to go through in the next few days. NPP, we believe in the youth. And Dr. Bawumia believes in the youth. I want you to be assured that this training program is for your benefit, because we want the youth to take key leadership positions, and we cannot get you into key leadership positions if we don't prepare you for the uptake of these leadership positions. And that is why this training program is going to take place over the next 2 to 3 days. 2028, inshallah, it is going to happen in 2028. It is possible. It is possible. It is possible. And we are going to work towards it. We are not going to sit down and say it will happen, but we are going to work. And that is why we are beginning the work early. And the training is to make sure that when we are in government, you will be able to occupy key leadership positions in this country. And that is where we are going to. The youth will take over the key positions as we move forward in this country. You know that the vote is largely youth dominated. 2028, as was in 2024, will be a youth dominated election. And that is why we are going to really make a lot more effort with TESCON this time around than we did in 2024. So you are about 115 institutions who are here, and you will see me on a lot of campuses this year, next year, and 2028. We will take the debate, the ideas to the country, and we will make our case. We are, however, saying that we will not be intimidated. You can arrest all of us. We will come back and make it our case to the people of Ghana. And so I want all of you to come together as we are doing to make sure that in 2028, MPP comes back.
Now, the Executive Secretary of the National Identification Authority, Wisdom Kweku Deku, has assured the public that the authority will not discriminate against any Ghanaian during the ongoing mass registration exercise for children aged 6 to 14 years, which began on May 5, 2026. He made the statement during a working visit to registration centers in the Volta and Oti regions to assess the ongoing exercise and address operational challenges.
During a visit to registration centers in the Volta region, the Executive Secretary of the NIA explained that the registration of children has become mandatory under the laws establishing the authority. According to him, the authority is targeting some 63,000 children in the Volta and Oti regions to be registered, while approximately 32,000 Ghana cards have been issued so far.
As part of the SDG goals in 2030, it says that legal identity for all, including birth registration. It is based on that the government has tasked us to start the registration of the children from 6 years and above. So if you see me here today, we started on the 5th of May, and it is important as the Executive Secretary of the authority, I come around to see how the registration process is going. We are not going to end there. It's a nationwide that we are starting. We decided to start from Volta and Oti. So from here, I'll move to the Oti region to also check to see how the registration is going on.
Executive Secretary Wisdom Deku assured the public that the authority will not discriminate against any Ghanaian during the ongoing mass registration exercise.
For us, we can trust that the NIA, as mandated by law, will not discriminate in terms of who is a Ghanaian or who is not a Ghanaian. As we always say, a Ghanaian is not determined by your color or the language you speak or how you walk. Citizen is a matter of law. So we've trained our staff very well not to discriminate against anyone. When a person comes and is not able to speak any of the languages, it doesn't mean that that child is not a Ghanaian. You have to prove further, and that's what we've trained our people about.
He also advised parents to ensure that children are issued birth certificates immediately after birth to ease further identification processes.
I think one major thing that I've seen around is the lack of the birth certs. Most of the kids are not having the birth certificates, so they are relying solely on the parents. And what that means is that the parents have to come with the child and swear an affidavit that yes, that is the child. And I think it should be a lesson to all of us when a child is born that we do an instant birth certificate for the child. Again, we are going to do the 0 to 5 years. I think that will be launched from next month going, where a child born at the hospital will be issued an identity number, so that it will not be a stage where we have to go around to do mass registration again. So that once a child is born, his or her identity is already confirmed. And at that point, we are doing that in collaboration with Ghana Health Service and Birth and Death. So once a child is born, the key in the child's data, it goes to Birth and Death, and a Birth and Death number is issued to the child, and a Ghana card printer is also issued to the child.
The NIA registration exercise for children aged 6 to 14 years in the Volta and Oti regions is expected to end on May 26, after which it will be rolled out to other regions across the country.
Now, management of the Peki Government Hospital in the Southern District of the Volta region has called for expansion and retooling of its maternity, accident and emergency wards to address overcrowding in 2 units. Now, according to the hospital's medical superintendent, Dr. Daniel Otri Cranton, the situation has forced health professionals to admit patients in open space and corridors. A development, it says, is affecting quality healthcare delivery.
The Peki Government Hospital remains a major referral facility serving neighboring districts and regions. Over the years, the hospital has been battling inadequate infrastructure to accommodate the growing number of patients seeking healthcare services. For instance, The maternity ward, which was designed to accommodate 15 patients, is currently handling more than 30 patients, forcing hospital authorities to admit some patients in open spaces and along corridors.
We happen to be on a stretch that frequently reports cases of road transport accident. Last month, for instance, there were 19 isolated incidents of road transport accidents involving over 30 people. And our accident and emergency, even though we did our own expansion, we were able to add about 2-3 beds. So currently, the place houses, the maximum beds we can put there is 6, which is not so adequate. So if we are able to get...
The medical superintendent, Dr. Daniel Ochre-Cranton, says the situation is negatively affecting the quality of healthcare delivery at the facility.
Currently on the maternity ward, even though the place is supposed to accommodate 15 people, we have over 25 people on admission who are being nursed. Unfortunately, we happen to be the only facility. When you drive from Atimpoku through Frankedia, Askuma, Peki, Peve to Have, we are the only hospital. And so when our clients come, even if the place is full to capacity, you can't turn them away. We have to improvise, look for spaces and attend to them, because the nearest facility we can refer to is the teaching hospital in Hu, which is approximately an hour's drive from here.
Additionally, the medical superintendent expressed concern about the limited space at the accident and emergency unit, noting that the unit has only 6 beds.
So some social stories now. Residents at Komenda are losing more than just hope. They are losing their youth as they remain unemployed due to the delay in operationalizing the sugar factory. The towering chimneys of the sugar factory stand as a silent monument to unfulfilled promises. It has been a decade since this project was birthed, but today the only activity on the premises isn't the processing of sugarcane, it is the grazing of cows.
Speaking passionately to Metro News, residents express worry that without the factory, young people are turning to deviant behaviors, while others are packing their bags to seek a better life elsewhere. For the sugarcane farmers, the delay is a financial wound that refuses to heal. They were promised a market for their crops instead. They are left with harvests that have nowhere to go. The community is now looking directly at the Jubilee House. They are calling on Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman to honor her campaign pledges made by the NDC.
Factory no or wada anka ye okroyi edwuma wom youth funu nya edwuma ye mbaabo no sopo nya edwuma ye tonada woto apamada okodo fine ba sisi anam de edwuma ni nidu nti wa makro no ma aye do afafu bebre na wo tukwan ye mesafu bebre wo tukwan because of edwuma bia ni nti yesa mpemfu na wudi ye na enim no. Yes, someone papa, one born factory number. I may also your croon, Chumpuna may.
Commander, what car of Lukoa? Commander number 1. A full son from my judge, maybe our commander number 1. Now, so see the difference here. And yes, son and the Pukachman in an improved one boy, no commander, man of one tampoo flat. The kitchen that was your red. This is a yada. Daddy was your red yada. Young man, the son and none of the Pukajman, the moment. Factory is a Yokuma, none to Lukumu, none to about Eba. A hair full cook, none to a hundred and 20 to her. Now, so, oh, factory, no jungle, maybe you were in Chinamo. And I'm not doing no couldn't see, no more in Chinama.
Spokesperson for the chiefs and elders, Opeyin Atta Mensah, in an exclusive interview, revealed that the traditional leadership is frustrated. A delegation has already been sent to the Trade Ministry to demand a concrete timeline and has been assured that by October-November, the people of Komenda will see massive work to complete the project. However, it isn't all gloom in Komenda. Opeyin Mensah commended the Mahama administration for the massive road construction currently spanning the municipality, the first of its kind in its lifetime.
I am making this statement because of certain things which has happened. The former government, the former regime, same Metro TV and other media houses came to me, and we spoke bitterly about their behavior and then the non-political way that they have to make this factory being operational. So when NDC came to power, one father was full of joy because he who that conceive a baby is the very person who will finally be the labor. So that new NDC will build the factory and they have finally come back to power. We know very well NDC will build it. But one thing I am not doubting this government that they will finally make this factory in operation, because since they assume power, a lot of problems that they've confronted them and they are trying to make sure things have been stabilized. And they found a title, the theme of their governance, the resetting. So resetting something which has finally got bad, then they want to put it in the right perspective. So that's where the resetting is all about. So I believe there might be some problems that are finally at least occurred during the time the factory was being built, and even the former government that they're supposed to do, they could not do. They had to make sure put things in order before finally they will tackle.
Now, away from that, the second edition of Empowerability Seminar 2 kicked off in Accra with a renewed calls from persons with disabilities for urgent action to eliminate workshop barriers and expand equal employment opportunities in Ghana. Here is more.
Brought together policymakers, corporate leaders, civil society organizations, and disability advocates to discuss practical ways of promoting inclusion in the workplace. Michael Owusu-Asare is the convener.
For me, what I pray that every person with disability would take away from here is that nobody will do anything for you unless you start it. When you start, others will kick in. So any person with disability watching me, every guardian who has a child or a ward with disability, please don't keep your disabled person or child indoors. Allow them to adapt to the world and navigate. Allow them to familiarize themselves with the world. As they do that, they will start building solutions.
CEO of the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors, Dr. Patrick Ofori, emphasized that inclusion is not only a social responsibility, but also a strategic business imperative that can drive innovation and productivity.
The next step is to push and leverage and ensure that the diversity and inclusivity aspect of that content will be structured in such a way that people living with any form of disability can also be treated as a special group within the Ghanaian content policy or the local content policy. And then also in the concept of localization, we can also leverage on the new government policy initiative whereby there is a need for a call for 5% of the workforce to be given to people living with any form of disability.
Speaking on the Persons with Disability Act 2006, Act 715, Executive Director of the Center for Employment of Persons with Disabilities, Alexander Tete, called for the swift passage of the amended Act.
No, the Disability Act is not effective. Actually, because there's no legislative instrument to back the implementation of the Disability Act, Act 715, as it exists now. And that is why we're coming out with an amended act which is yet to, the last time we checked, is with the ministry. It will go to the AG, and then it will go to cabinet, and then we'll go to parliament. And so we are pushing for the passage of the amended act, Act 715. But we also pushing corporate organizations to do what they can.
As the seminar came to a close, speakers stressed the need for both public and private sector institutions to move beyond policy commitments and implement measurable strategies that ensure persons with disabilities are not left behind.
More social stories this afternoon. Deputy Minister of Education, Dr. Clement Park, has announced a major policy shift, declaring that no new school will be built in Ghana without toilet facilities and access to water, marking a decisive step toward ending poor sanitation in schools. He made this known at the Wash in Schools policy dialogue and the launch of the Child Sanitation Diplomats one-year project in Accra.
Organized by World Vision Ghana, the policy dialogue identified practical ways of improving water, sanitation and hygiene in schools, with a focus on creating a safe and conducive learning environment.
You realize that there are many schools without access to safe drinking water, improved sanitation and hygiene, and it's affecting the education of our children. It's also affecting their health. And if you take the Education Management Information System, which is conducted by Ministry of Education, it tells us that 26% of all public basic schools don't have access to a toilet facility, and 25% don't have access to safe drinking water. That is a huge problem.
Discussions centered on the provision of functional toilet facilities and access to clean water, with the Deputy Minister of Education, Dr. Clement Park, cautioning metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives that inspections will be conducted in schools within their jurisdictions to assess sanitary conditions.
That in the past, several school buildings were constructed without proper water and sanitation facilities. But I wish to assure you that under the leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the visionary leadership of the Minister for Education, Haruna Iddrisu, no new school, and I emphasize, no new school infrastructure will be undertaken without the full provision of water, sanitation, and hygiene facilities. In collaboration with all relevant ministries, agencies, MMDAs, and development partners such as World Vision Ghana, the government will continue working to ensure that every school has access to clean drinking water, decent toilet facilities, and proper hygiene services.
The Wash in Schools policy dialogue was held alongside the launch of the Child Sanitation Diplomats one-year project by World Vision Ghana, aimed at empowering pupils to proper hygiene and improved sanitation in schools and communities.
That'll be all for the news updates on Good Afternoon Ghana. Thank you very much for making time with us. My name is Helen Anyeweja. There's more after this break. Do stay.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy, specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2- and 3-bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties.
Looking for comfort, convenience, and class all in one place? Welcome to Stay Easy Apartments on Conference Center, where modern living meets exceptional service. Whether you're staying for business or leisure, Stay Easy offers you a home away from home. Spacious and well-furnished apartments, pool, gym, and everything you need to relax and feel at ease. Planning a meeting, workshop, or special event? Our event grounds and state-of-the-art conference center is designed to host your events and bring your vision to life. From corporate gatherings to private functions, we provide the perfect space, supported by modern equipment and a professional team ready to assist you. At Stay Easy, your comfort and success are our priority. Book your stay or reserve your space today. Call us at 020-739-1473 or 0244-226367. Stay Easy Apartments and Conference Center. Stay easy with us.
Grab your bottle and unleash the taste of Storm Energy Drink. A bold flavor, a big attitude. Feel the vibe, own the moment. It's your time to be different. Storm Energy Drink, make your mark. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
Launching BSc Development Economics at the Ghana Christian University College. Study a job-ready university program, BSc Development Economics at the Ghana Christian University College. Job is ready for graduates who possess degrees and certificates in BSc Development Economics, professional certificate in Theoeconomy, certificate in Theoeconomy with business. Enroll at the Department of Theology and Economics at the Ghana Christian University College, Amrahia, Adenta Dodua Road, Accra. Full bursary is available for BSc Development Economics graduates to study master's program at the State University in South Africa. Enroll now. Take advantage of this opportunity to join elite professionals in economics. Call 0557-351-090 or 0575-633-307 or 030-296-0542. WhatsApp us on 0557-351-090 or you can get in touch online on www.theoeconomy.edu.gh. Powered by the Center for Theology and Economics, CTEC.
The rules of the game are simple and they start before you walk through the gaming facility. You must be 18 years or older before you can gamble. This isn't a suggestion. This is actually the law. Under no circumstance does an operator have to allow an underage to their establishment to operate a gamble. There is no excuse, there's no exemption, period. For information, call the helpline on 0800 45 45 45. This message is brought to you by the Public Education Unit of the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
Gaming Commission, the winning hand.
Yes, more than 6 police officers. You have no idea. I am so traumatized. So what happened was, I think they were taking one person in, and they were beating the guy mercilessly. So I took my phone. They have my phone now. So they were beating the guy mercilessly. Yes, I know him. They were beating the guy mercilessly. So I was taking shots of what was going on, and immediately more than 6 police officers surrounded me, pushed my hand behind my back. Mr. Hussein was there, and he was trying to tell them to stop, and they just shoved him aside. One guy who is my lawyer there, he has also been arrested for just asking them to stop. They beat you. You should see what is. I don't believe that. I just can't understand that.
Vanessa, they are aware you are a media person.
Yes, my lawyer was telling them that she's a journalist, leave her alone. As they were all holding, some of them were holding their guns like this, as if they are ready to do whatever they want to do. And more than 6 of men, policemen. I'm not talking about women. Policemen, 6 policemen, and they just shoved my hand behind my back and bring the phone. And one tall guy had to. Jesus Christ.
So that was my colleague Vanessa. We've been doing this together since morning, and she was able to make her way into the regional police headquarters. And subsequently, like she's telling me,
spoke to me about her son, who is a protester. No, wasn't a protester. He was playing basketball. So you see, around this church, was Christ the King. There's a basketball area there. So the boy was supposed to play basketball. And the police in their swoop, as they do with the other crime events, swoop and just carried him along. So he's been here waiting to hear from her son. And she spoke to me. So I get to the gate and I tell the policeman to go in there. And he tells me there's nobody. I said, but you've just taken people in there. You have just taken people in there. So whilst we were standing outside waiting, he says he would not allow us in. At the time, Vanessa was inside, and I was scared for Vanessa because we had sent her out, and the police have guns. They are being hostile to anybody who is in there. So while I was waiting, the police charged us at. We didn't provoke them, nothing. We're just standing. He charged, opened the gates and charged, and picked as many people as they could grab. I want to believe that it's because maybe I'm a woman. That's why they didn't grab me. I had a phone of a gentleman who is still inside. Please give me the phone. I don't know the person's name. He's called George. They said the guy is called George. I was holding his phone while I was talking to him because he was also asking me a question. And they pulled the guy away. He did nothing.
They pulled him even though he's done nothing.
Pulled him. And the policeman, trying to grab him and me, ripped my shirt. Ripped my shirt. So I am standing here half naked. I thank whoever, I don't know who gave me this, but somebody gave me this so I could wrap around my middle because, I am not comfortable. They have stolen other people's phone, police officers. They have stolen, they didn't even take the phone, they stole it from people who are not agitating. So they are in there, wait after 5 minutes, we're just standing outside in front of the police station so that we can bail. I even thought I could act as a surety for people so I could bail people because they haven't committed a crime. Now one has stolen money and he's walking free. They just came out in red and black. So if we can even stand and bail people, bail them. That's all we did. Then they charge us and take people in. There's a guy who will come out and say, so 1, 2, 3, pick them, take them inside. 1, 2, that is all they do. Not that people are fighting police. Spoke to me about her son, who is a protester. No, wasn't a protester. He was playing basketball. So you see, around this church, was Christ the King. There's a basketball area there. So the boy was supposed to play basketball. And the police in their swoop, as they do with the other crime events, swoop and just carried him along. So he's been here waiting to hear from her son. And she spoke to me. So I get to the gate and I tell the policeman to go in there. And he tells me there's nobody. I said, but you've just taken people in there. You have just taken people in there. So whilst we were standing outside waiting, he says he would not allow us in. At the time, Vanessa was inside, and I was scared for Vanessa because we had sent her out, and the police have guns. They are being hostile to anybody who is in there. So while I was waiting, the police charged us at. We didn't provoke them, nothing. We're just standing. He charged, opened the gates and charged, and picked as many people as they could grab. I want to believe that it's because maybe I'm a woman. That's why they didn't grab me. I had a phone of a gentleman who is still inside. Please give me the phone. I don't know the person's name. He's called George. They said the guy is called George. I was holding his phone while I was talking to him because he was also asking me a question. And they pulled the guy away. He did nothing.
They pulled him even though he's done nothing.
Pulled him. And the policeman, trying to grab him and me, ripped my shirt. Ripped my shirt. So I am standing here half naked. I thank whoever, I don't know who gave me this, but somebody gave me this so I could wrap around my middle because, I am not comfortable. They have stolen other people's phone, police officers. They have stolen, they didn't even take the phone, they stole it from people who are not agitating. So they are in there, wait after 5 minutes, we're just standing outside in front of the police station so that we can bail. I even thought I could act as a surety for people so I could bail people because they haven't committed a crime. Now one has stolen money and he's walking free. They just came out in red and black. So if we can even stand and bail people, bail them. That's all we did. Then they charge us and take people in. There's a guy who will come out and say, so 1, 2, 3, pick them, take them inside. 1, 2, that is all they do. Not that people are fighting police. Spoke to me about her son, who is a protester. No, wasn't a protester. He was playing basketball. So you see, around this church, was Christ the King.
Good afternoon to you and welcome to Good Afternoon Ghana on Metro TV. We are live on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana, on DSTV on channel 277. My name is Nana Kwesi Kwesi and I'm sitting in for Kwesi Afriye, your regular host. All right, so today what are we looking at? The Julubi House protest, which took place in 2023 by Democracy Hub. And today they have finally won their case against the police. We're going to be discussing that very issue, and we have a very able personnel of Metro TV who was also part of what happened, a journalist, of course, and she's going to take us through the way forward for the Julubi House protest and also their win, and then what they intend to do after this. So we're also going to be looking at the recommendation and then the cabinet meeting on the recommendation of the Constitutional Review Committee, and we'll be looking at the recommendation and speak to an activist and founder of the Economic Fighters League, Mr. Ernest Yeboah. He'll be joining us in the studio. And then finally, we're going to be looking at a book launch where women are told to be wise builders. We're going to be talking to a very distinguished woman of God who will be joining us after the many conversations that we'll be having here. In the meantime, let's go straight to Vanessa Edom, who happens to be my colleague here at Metro TV. Good afternoon to you, Vanessa. It's good to have you on Good Afternoon Ghana. All right, so before we start your conversation, I'm going to read out something for all of us to look at the situation in the Julubi House, and then I'm going to come straight to you so that we can probably start the conversation. All right, so Bridget Otu and friends win case against police brutality during the Occupy Julubi House demonstration. The High Court of Justice, Human Rights Division 2, Accra, presided over His Lordship Justice Nana Brew has this morning delivered its judgment in Bridget Otu and two others versus the Inspector General of Police and Attorney General, condemning police misconduct and human rights violations during the Occupy Julubi protest in September 2023. And looking at the key findings, the court ruled that officers of the Ghana Police violated the fundamental rights of journalists and activists. They were duty-bound to protect. Justice Brew described the conduct of the police as unconstitutional, citing physical assault and unlawful interferences. Bridget Otu assaulted, blouse ripped apart by officers. Vanessa Edom Boateng unlawfully detained, phone seized to block recording of brutality. George Jenim Annan Boateng with slaps, punches, metallic belt, and baton while he streamed events at the regional police station. And the reliefs and damages that the court actually read out were they granted all relief sought by the applicants with adjusted compensations. Compensatory damages amounts to 100,000 Ghana cedis. General damages amount to 50,000 Ghana cedis. Legal costs 30,000 Ghana cedis. Formal apology. Police ordered to publish an unqualified apology in Daily Graphic, while counsel for the applicant, Samson Ladi Ayenini, who happens to be a partner's law, sought higher costs to reflect 2 years of trial. The court declined, noting that such hefty monetary awards could cripple the police from functioning effectively. And then a call for a reform also came up concerning the judgment of the case, and Justice Brew referenced precedents, including Solomon Jojo Kobna and others, cautioning against future abuses. He expressed hope that under the new IGP, the police service will prioritize protection of rights, not only of journalists, but the public generally over violations. All right, so we're going to be speaking to Vanessa Edom, just like I told you earlier on. Vanessa, all right, so you finally won your case. And I know that you don't want me to check how you're feeling, but I still would want to check how you're feeling. And then also, what do you intend to do after here?
Thank you so much. I think this judgment is important. This is a victory for all journalists, all activists, and all citizens, that even during protest, rights are not suspended. This has been in court for 2 years, and I'm super grateful that justice has been served. And I mean, reflecting when the judgment was given, I reflected on what happened that day, and I can only be grateful that I am alive today, because it was a very messy situation in court, if I should put it. It wasn't a nice situation any journalist want to find themselves in, especially when the very people that are supposed to protect you are the ones that put you in that kind of situation. The trauma does not leave you even after. The trauma doesn't leave. That is one important thing that has to be. The trauma does not leave. So I think going forward, it's important that such things do not happen. This is victory for, like I said, all journalists. And it's important that all journalists be treated as citizens. I mean, you can't be treated anyhow, because you are there to do your job, you are there to cover an assignment, and through no fault of yours, you have to endure this kind of, this is a victory for all journalists, all activists, all protesters, and the citizens as a whole. So this is justice has been served, if you ask me, and I'm super grateful. And I might say that that very day, looking back on that day, one person I'm so grateful for is Bridget. I mean, in the interview, you see how calm she was when she was granting interview. It wasn't the same with me. She was there to give me an assurance that I should relax, I should calm down. And I think it helped in a way, because you have your superior, your supervisor there, who is able to calm you down, even in phase of trauma. And one person I'm also grateful for is Richmond Roxon. When I was being brutalized by the police, he was there. He came in quickly to say they should leave me alone. But then he was also slapped and was whisked away. But it also helped in a way. And then one person I also want to thank is the former MP, Inusaf Husseini, if I got the name right. Yes, he also stepped in to say, oh, she's a journalist. But I mean, they were all there to calm situation down. But the harm has already been done. So this is a justice served, and I'm super grateful. Yeah, this is
For 2 years, you've been going to court.
Yes.
Let's talk about some of the challenges that you went through, because I know that it's not an easy thing to fight a national service, with a situation like this, and you would have to put in money, you have to pay lawyers, and every time that you're called, lawyers have to be there, you have to be paid. I mean, talk to us about some of the challenges that you went through.
Well, this big thanks goes to our council, and then Bridget also. I think they played an important role. And I also say that, well, going to court, anytime cases are adjourned, I have to keep asking for permission. I have court today, I want to go to court tomorrow. A newsroom has been supportive of me going to court, because every now and then, even if there are assignments that I have to go to, I have to ask permission from the newsroom, and they said, oh yeah, you can go. So those are some of the challenges. I mean, and then one important, I think it's too long, 2 years in court. I feel that was way too long. It would have been faster. I mean, it would have been fast-tracked. This judgment shouldn't even have taken more than, in my view, it shouldn't even have taken more than 6 months. I mean, you are going to court consistently for 2 years. I think some of these things have to be checked, where court cases are fast-tracked, justice is delivered timely, because when you go to court, cases been adjourned, sometimes the attorneys don't come, and you have to go and come back. I mean, things like this have to be checked so that cases like this don't take too long of a time in court.
What are some of the things that you actually had when this issue was ongoing that gave you the confidence that no matter how long they drag this case, we are definitely going to win?
Well, it's obvious. It's obvious because no one should go through such thing. A police officer or anyone, no security person has the right to brutalize anyone. I mean, especially with no fault of theirs. They are just protesters. I'm just a journalist. We are journalists doing our work. Why would you want to brutalize anyone? So it's obvious. But then one challenge that I had going to court was my mother. She was scared. She was really, really scared that I was going to be victimized, especially by the police. She was scared that maybe the police may do something very bad to me. So she was really, in fact, I considered not going to court. But then again, I mean, if I'm scared and I don't want to go out, I don't want to hold anyone accountable, what about others? So this has been a long time coming, and I'm so grateful that justice has been served.
What's the way forward for you?
Way forward, I think that I am going to still cover protests. I am still going to be out there. I'm still going to do my job. And I am still going to be who I am. I'm not sure that anyone, anything can intimidate me. And I'm not sure anyone would even think of intimidating me in doing my work. So going forward, I also believe that being loud on this kind of issues, yes, especially violence towards journalists, should be. I'm not sure if this has been emphasized enough. Journalists are doing their work. You go to programs and then you see, these security people trying to intimidate journalists. I mean, one of the GH1 guys, you see him being slapped, if I'm right here, being slapped. And like this kind, always assaulting journalists. You know, we are the fourth estate. For crying out loud, we need some respect. Don't think because you're a security person and we are just there to do a job, and so you think you can intimidate us with no. Please, going forward, I think it has not been emphasized enough. Things should be done rightly, and journalists shouldn't be treated this way. We shouldn't be assaulted for whatsoever reason. And protesters too. I mean, protest as a protest.
Okay.
There is nothing like if I should say this, there is nothing like, in quotes, there's nothing like lawful protest. Protest is not supposed to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Protest is not to make you comfortable. It's a protest. People are agitating. It's not, so
anything can happen.
Protesters should not be treated like criminals.
Sure.
Journalists shouldn't be treated like criminals. And citizens should be given that respect. Protest does not mean suspension of human rights.
That's true.
So going forward, I think these things should be checked, and I'm going to be loud on that.
How would you expect your other journalists that are watching you now to handle themselves when they find themselves in cases like this?
Well, I think you can never be too careful enough, because on this day, when I was going into the regional command, I identified myself. I told them I'm a journalist, and I'm here to, make more inquiries so that I can give information back to the newsroom. I identified myself properly. They knew I was a journalist, but still I was assaulted. So you can never be too careful enough. However, I believe that journalists should look out for themselves first. If things like this or things of this, like, you can never be too careful enough. So it's the security services should, how do I put it? They should make sure that things like this don't even happen in the first place. Why are you even hitting a journalist to begin with? Things like this shouldn't even happen. So once you are there, you're not doing anything illegal. You are, like, my phone was seized.
Yeah.
I was just, George, the third guy, he was being beaten, he was being assaulted, and I was filming that. And that was when my phone was seized, and I was forced to delete that. I think
they forced you to delete the videos that you had from what was happening.
Yes. So things like this shouldn't happen.
Why do you think they forced you to delete these videos? Because
of course, it looks bad on them.
It looks bad on them. Okay.
Of course, why you just push protesters in, close it. You see on your screen, you can see where the entrance of the gate. Some police officers just come out, push some of the protesters in, lock the gate, and then they start beating them. So I was in the premises when the beating started happening. So that was when I was taking videos, recordings of what was happening. And so that was when the police officers surrounded me, were struggling for the phone. They had to, things like that. It shouldn't happen. This shouldn't happen to any journalist. Like I said, the trauma never goes away, but we forge forward.
Is it not clear that the security personnel are taught how they should handle journalists or people that actually come to cover professionally events or demonstrations or any other event at all that, is happening? I did not thought so because I know that within their premises, police personnel are taken through education on how they should handle journalists and other people that come to cover events like this. So sometimes when these things happen, the big question is, what actually happened to them? Did they forget what they were taught, or is it because they had a different idea of, or there was an agenda that they felt like no matter what or whatever they do, they would fight against you? I hope you're getting what I'm saying.
If you ask me, I think it's lack of professionalism on their side.
Okay.
Because, like I said, protest does not mean suspension of human rights or human decency. And I am just doing my work. It doesn't mean that you should take my rights away. And so it's just some professionalism on their side. I'm sure, I don't want to believe that the police is told to do what they did in this case. How they manhandle people, how they slap a lawyer, how they beat people. I'm not sure. I don't want to believe that they were told to do such.
So. Yeah.
So it's just unprofessionalism on their side. So going forward, things like this shouldn't happen. We shouldn't.
I mean,
be
your
having
final
this kind
words.
of conversation.
Your final words, and then lessons that you think you've learned from this ordeal, and then words that you think you can share, so that journalists like each and every one of us and those that are watching us can also see how best they can handle themselves, and then make sure that you're doing your work professionally.
Well, like I said, justice have been served, and it's been long coming. And this is to all journalists to be firm, to stand their ground. You are just doing your work. You are not being biased. You are delivering you are doing what you're supposed to do. And things like this is just a way to tell you that these are the, in quote, bad side of the work. And you shouldn't be intimidated by things like this. And to the security services, they should do better. At no point should they assault a journalist, protesters, or even citizens. They should do better. So if you are watching me now, I think this is justice being served, right? And we are glad. And my counsel has done so much. He's always in court. My counsel is always in court with his team, making sure that we are served. Justice is served. They are making sure they are always in court, making sure that justice is served, and we are so grateful for that. And he's done. The council has done really well. Council has done really, really well, because he didn't relent. He didn't relent at all. He made sure that we are always
justice is served.
Yes, you should be in the courtroom to see. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad for I'm super grateful to him.
I'm happy for you and on all journalists. And thank you very much, Vanessa Edotome, who happens to be a journalist here at Metro TV, and also a colleague, for talking to us. And congratulations to your team. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we continue with Good Afternoon, Ghana.
Yes, they've more than 6.
Mommy, good morning.
Oh, good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery, which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe, with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana colorectal center, in to serve a peculiar health need.
Finding the ideal property shouldn't be a daunting task. At MNC Properties, we believe everyone deserves a place to call home. That's why we specialize in providing affordable housing options under our flagship project, Fresh Property Joy. specifically designed for low and medium income earners. Our range of customizable homes includes 2 and 3 bedroom standard and executive options, all meticulously crafted using innovative interlocking brick technology. We understand the importance of simplicity and convenience in the acquisition process. That's why we have designed our procedures to be straightforward and hassle-free, offering flexible payment options tailored to your individual needs. In addition to our affordable homes, we proudly offer litigation-free lands for sale in vibrant and upscale communities that present the perfect opportunity to build your dream home. We are committed to making affordable housing a reality, providing you with the joy of owning a home that meets your budgets and aspirations. Whether you're looking to buy, rent, or invest, we've got you covered. Our service team is ready to assist you on 030-255-1917. MNC Properties.
Hello, my friends. My name is Calcate Toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Calcate. Happy smile.
This Easter, Estate Masters Limited is giving you more reasons to celebrate in our extended Easter promo. Secure your dream land at Nest Cottage, Chopoli with a massive 15% discount. Or choose Palm Hills, Gomwa Pamfukrum, also at 15% discount. And for lovers of the coast, Coastal Park, Ningo Prampram awaits you at 10% discount. Plus, enjoy free site visits and free documentation because we make land ownership simple. This Easter, don't just celebrate, invest in your future. Estate Masters Limited, your most preferred estate partner.
Yo. Your most wanted Cook Africa event is here. My name is Mariam, Sierra Leonean living in Ghana. I'm kindly inviting Sierra Leoneans to come and enjoy at Metro TV on the 23rd of May, time 9 a.m. prompt. Come and enjoy Sierra Leone food and African dishes. Salon people, una no left behind. Una color we can enjoy because this show ya get for sweet. Una no ever you Metro TV the show. Una color we can enjoy together. Yeah, you go taste different African dishes. Thank you. See you all there. I go see una there, my sister and brother there. Thank you.
Welcome back. This is still Good Afternoon Ghana on Metro TV. We're live on Facebook at Metro TV Ghana, on DSTV on channel 277. All right, so we're going to continue with the conversations that we have for you today, and we're going to be looking at a book launch. Let me quickly let you in on the title of the book, A Woman but a Wise Builder, and it is part 1 and 2. first and then second edition. And the writer happens to be Mabel Zango Tanye Kulono. She's right here with me in the studio. Good afternoon to you, Mabel.
Good afternoon.
Good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
A woman but a wise builder. Who is she?
Wow. A woman but a wise builder is anybody that has the capacity to build, to create, and to reform, you know, because many women build, but as to what they build is the problem. So this book is centered mainly about a woman who knows who she is and how to build in her own capacity.
Let me ask you this. Knowing who you are, it's one of the biggest challenges every individual goes through in life. Because as soon as you are able to recognize who you are, you know your direction, you have clarity, and then you move with purpose. How would a woman know who she is?
You see, women, God has blessed women with that grace, you know. And if you're a woman, you should know that. As my book is a Christian book, so I'm talking from the Christian perspective. Every woman is created to be a helpmate. And the Bible says a woman is a helpmate to a man. But I believe that a woman is not just a helpmate to a man, but a woman can build anything. Because the Bible said a man was not complete until a woman was what? Created. And so the purpose of a woman being created is fulfilled or to complete a man. But I believe not just a man. I believe the woman is created to build entire world.
She's more like a natural.
It is a divine
She nurtures
gift.
the earth.
Everything
so that the earth will continue to produce.
Everything. Because a man was first created. But
Yes.
God said the man was not complete until the woman was what? Created. So whenever a woman is created or whenever a woman is born, you are born to fulfill an assignment. And your assignment is to nurture, is to build visions, families, anything that a woman can think of. You should be able to have a purpose and you can be able to build it by divine guidance.
If you look at our current situation right now, do you think women are actually, looking forward or imbibing these very qualities that you're bringing to bear in this conversation?
Thank you for that question. I think that many women don't know who they are, and that is a big challenge. If you're a woman and you don't know who you are, you settle for anything. But as a woman, first identify your purpose here on earth. Because the fact that I can write a book doesn't mean that another woman can write a book.
How do you identify the purpose? I'm asking this because it has been the challenge for many that I have personally experienced. How do you identify your purpose? Because I think that would go a long way to help a lot of people out there, even men, to be able to identify your purpose. Can you walk us through that?
Okay, so self-identity comes in when you know what you can do for yourself. Because many a times, you are just doing things that people have told you to do, or you are doing things that you have seen others doing. But when you identify what is within you, it comes natural, it's easy to do. Let's take teachers, for example. It's not everybody that can teach. But when somebody is called to teach, it is easy to come to the classroom and come to the board and start, analyzing things for the student to understand. And so you can tell from that side of your story that this is where I'm called to perfect. And so to find your identity is the burning sensation in everyone that makes you complete. Because if it's not from God or if it's not your identity, you struggle in it. But something that comes natural, it is from God and it is your calling. That's when you plug into it.
What are some of the qualities that makes a woman wise in her ways?
You see, a wise woman is not emotional about taking decisions. You are intentional about everything. You need to understand that this that I'm doing, I shouldn't rush into doing it. You take your time. You create something with wisdom. Because my book talks about a woman, but a wise builder. That means that we all can build, but you have to build wisely. The Bible says that a woman, it said in the book of Proverbs 14, verse 1, a wise woman builds her house, but the foolish with her own hands tears it down. What I interpret a wise woman is a woman who is humble, who understands her purpose in life, who takes her time to make decisions, a woman who will not rush into doing things for doing sake, but you allow the Spirit of God to guide you to take that steps. But the foolish one, as the Bible says, tears it down. You tears it down with anger, frustrations, not understanding who you are, doing things that does not align with your calling. That makes everything about you chaotic. And at the end of the day, you will not be building anything. So a wise woman is the woman who knows her self-worth and prepare according to what is in you and go and exhibit what God has put in you. That's a wise woman.
Let's talk about technology, social media these days. A lot of women go on TikTok and other social media platforms to actually look out for messages or conversations about relationships. And from there, that is where they learn. And then they also go into relationships behaving that same way. And then even some of the telenovels that we watch. And a lot of the times when you meet such women, you tend to realize that they are behaving a little off from who they really are. Why do you think these days social media has become the home of information for even young women and those that are adults? And this is the place where they're taking their decisions from.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Somebody asked me this question a few days ago. You see, social media has come to be a blessing to us, but not to take advantage of it and destroy ourselves. Because it is there to empower us, to learn tools that we used not to have. But it seems like some people think that social media is the end of everything, or technology without it. My daughter will say, Mommy is talking about AI. Yes, AI is here to empower us. But if you put everything on AI, you become nothing. Because when AI is not there, who are you? So you put everything, all your information is on social media. One day you wake up and there's no technology, no social media. How are you going to function? Because some people cannot live a day without their phones. Some people cannot live a minute without not going to TikTok. What if there's no TikTok, no Facebook, no phones? How would you live your life? So I believe that we should create something for ourselves. Learn about the things that brings you joy outside of technology, so that whenever technology is not there, you can still find that excitement for yourself and your family.
What are some of the strategies that you've outlined in your book that would help a woman to become wise?
Okay, so like I said earlier, a wise woman is a builder.
Sure.
And to build anything, you need plan. My book talks about a woman knowing her foundation, knowing who you are, knowing your calling, knowing the things that God has placed for you as a woman. You see, a woman like Esther was called to deliver her people from, slavery. Sure. Because they were in a place where they didn't know what to do. They are not even permanent residents at that point. But Esther stood up for her people. Someone like Hannah. Hannah was only praying for God for a child. Little did she know that God was preparing her to use her son for something bigger. So I believe that every woman has something that God has put in you at a particular season to fulfill. And so in this book, I've put it together, not motivational things, but transformational things, things that will empower every woman to understand who you are. Just believe in yourself and identify your purpose. And when you grab this book, it is my personal journey in life. Things, my pain, my struggles, my faith, and my growth, and my rediscovery. Everything that I have been through, I put together in this book, so that anyone that grabs one, you would understand that even if you are broken, God has still given you the capacity to build as a woman. And so rise up above that situation and build, because you can build when you set your eyes on it.
Do you think today's woman is ready to imbibe some of these wonderful qualities that you've outlined in this book, to, embrace it and say to themselves that I am ready, I'm going to go through whatever challenges that I have to go through to become that wise woman? Do you think today's woman is ready?
The question is not ready because we are born with it.
Okay.
So being a woman is not just a role, it's a calling.
Sure.
And so if you have this calling and you are not doing anything about it, then you shouldn't be existing. Excuse me to say. Because you are a woman because God wants to use you to complete something. That's why he said a man is not complete until the woman was born. So a woman is born as a helpmate. And do you understand how maid, let's take for instance, maid servant in the house. They clean, they cook everything, every day. But they wake up every morning and they still finish their work. How do they do it? You don't know. Because it is naturally embedded in them as a housemaid to do the house chores. That is how a woman is born to fulfill. So you are not just a woman for that role. You are born to that calling. And so to fulfill your calling, you need to find your purpose. And then you are able to. You don't have to think about it. It is your divine calling. And take advantage to. I tell every woman, take advantage of your calling and build something meaningful for yourself, for your community, and for your children. The future children, if you don't have.
These days, many women are not ready to become housemaids, just like you're talking about. You are very aware of what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, and also, if you look at their working space, women are going to the office, men are also going to the office. Why should I be the one to come home to do the cooking, to, tidy the house and then be there for the children and so on? You can also do the same thing. This is a challenge that is ongoing in marriages and in relationships. How do you think this can be managed?
You see, I always say this. This book is not just for the single woman, nor the married woman. It's for every woman.
Okay.
And I talk about how a woman builds her home.
Okay.
Building is not a group project. It's a single project. You are building whatever God has placed in you. And so know that whether you are a career woman, you are a single woman, a divorcee, wherever you find yourself, you can still do it. Women have gone to work and come home and still fulfill their house duty or wifely duties. Women have gone to parliament. Women have been presidents, but still come home and fulfill their home duties. And so if a woman like Esther, I gave an example earlier, can be able to fulfill her duty in bringing peace to her people, you and I can do it here today. Someone like Deborah, she was a judge in the Bible. She used to gather soldiers together and direct them how to go to war and fulfill their purpose. If Deborah can do that in the Bible, what are you and I doing? We can also do it. Whether I'm married, I'm single, I'm divorced, just know your place as a woman. And you are born to build. And you can build anything. You can build visions. You can build families. You can build home, career. Just name whatever God has placed in your heart. And with God, I believe every woman should be able to build.
How do you expect a wise woman to treat her man? Yes, I have to come to that. Yeah, I have to come to it. Yeah.
Patience. Because as the scripture says, a wise woman builds her house, but the foolish with their own hands tears it down.
Okay.
How do you build your house wisely? By being patient, not being emotional about things. Take your time, always align yourself with your divine calling. Many a times, we get yoked with the wrong people. That shouldn't stop you. That shouldn't cancel your divine authority. Because God gave you that authority to be a good leader, not just for your husband, but for everyone around you, your community. Because as a woman, if you focus only on your husband, if you are divorced, what happened? So be a wise builder. How you can create a peaceful home for your partner. He would understand that my wife is a wise builder because she doesn't just emotionally flare into things. She takes her time, analyze what is going on, and even advise me what to do. Because a wise woman, you are not thinking just about your husband, but you are thinking about the entire family and the entire community. So you take wise decisions.
Let's look at issues that happen in relationships, marriages, and so on. There are those women that when it happens, they would have to go outside to go and tell about what's happening in their homes and so on. And some of these things end up breaking homes and so on. How would you expect a wise woman to handle her affairs at home so that it becomes something that she protects and manages without allowing the external world to get into it, to destroy what she's building?
I would first of all would say a wise woman would capitalize on prayers. Your faith goes a long way to help you be strong. Because many a times people see strong women to be women who never breaks down. But we do break down as a strong woman sometimes. But what you need to understand is that prayer would help. Prayer, I tell people, is therapeutic. Prayer can help you calm down your nerves. Prayer can also guide you to walk in a way that you would not align yourself with gossip. Because the Holy Spirit would enable you to understand that I don't have to share everything that goes around in my home to everybody. Even if you will do, you look for professionals that have knowledge about what you are going through and talk to them. Because many a time, extended family would worsen your situations. And they would then stand to judge you for not doing your work. Because everything is about a woman. If a woman don't have kids, you have a problem. If you have too many kids, you have a problem. If your husband has a problem, it's you. Everything is on a woman. But to be a wise woman, you will know how to manage this. Many men are working out there successfully, not because they are good, hardworking, or smart. It's because they have strong women at home who are working tirelessly, making sure that their husbands are the best on the road or out there. So to be a wise woman, make sure that your God comes first. Pray without ceasing. And make sure that whenever you are faced with a challenge, take your time. Relax about it. And allow God to infuse you with what he wants you to take that case. Because sometimes, with your own judgment, you make a mistake. And so prayer is the number one.
What are your final words for the wise woman?
To every wise woman, I want you to know that you are not powerless. God has embedded in you to rise above anything that you think challenges your faith, challenges your vision, challenges your growth. Because the Bible says every woman comes to complete a mission. And what is your own mission? Or what are you building on? Are you building on a solid foundation? Whatever you are building on, my book will tell you all the questions that you are looking for. Because I talk about how you can build yourself, how you can build your family, how you can build your career and all that. Being a woman, I think, is a calling and a blessing. Take advantage of what God has called you to be. And let's transform the world. Let's build the world that God wanted to be. And as a woman, there's nothing you cannot do.
All right, so we've been speaking about the book, A Woman by the Wise Builder. And that's they have the first and then the second edition by Mabel Zangu, Tanya Kulono. Thank you very much for talking to us. And going forward, I hope that the women out there, you're all going to imbibe some of the wonderful qualities that she's outlined in the book. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we would look at something that I'm sure that is of importance to all of you when it comes to, I'm going to quickly look at that and then let you know before we go for the break, and then when we come back, you know exactly what we are going to be looking at. All right, so we will be looking at the cabinet meeting on the recommendation of the Constitutional Review Committee. So let's take the break. When we come back, we're going to go into that discussion.
Yo, your most wanted Cook Africa event is here. My name is Mariam, Sierra Leonean living in Ghana. I'm kindly inviting Sierra Leoneans to come and enjoy at Metro TV on the 23rd of May, time 9 a.m. prompt. Come and enjoy Sierra Leone food and African dishes. Salon people, una no left behind. Una color we can enjoy because this show ya get for sweet. Una no ever you Metro TV the show. Una color we can enjoy together. Yeah, you go taste different African dishes. Thank you. See you all there. I go see una dey, my sister and brother. Then thank you.
Hello, I'm Pedro, Togolese living in Ghana. I invite all the Togolese to come in Metro TV on 23rd May 2026 at 9 a.m. This event, we are going to present one of the best food of Togo, which is Ademe soup. Ademe soup is one of our herbal food that we use a lot of things like fish and the wole and the cow meat. And the base of that things is we use the red oil to mix it. Une fois encore, je vous invite tous les Togolais à venir à Metro TV le 23 mai 2026 à 9h pile pour un event appelé Cook Africa. Nous avons vu que mes deux benami et mes benami veulent les dîner à mes quelques blagues voir et ton lien les Metro TV peut digiper nous pour moi dire mais peut te goûter qu'à temps nous va les miao. Alors mia no ju le mia do bi mia pe nous doit aller ticket mia na be Ademe ti akpe.
Mangez beaucoup, oh Africa, c'est ça son fort.
Hey Banty, why you there? Wallahi tell today go give me my money.
Oh my guy, what's up? Oba unze me didn't dede baby. Scan on ASA 500 cedis per.
I see. Level don't change. But to show me the way.
But there's some sorry Amanua. Talk to babe.
¿Quieres ganar dinero?
Huh?
Cash.
Yes, cash.
Shisha kwa mpa edubeko nkunimdie mu. Call wada.on.us na me sign up. Ema ore mfi se udi wo telephone number so ebeka ho uwie a. Afei, be games no emu. Shisha one short game. Fasika kume bitu ho. Afei, number se free 0 to 99. Yedie wakumape. Na obenya sika dia free 50 Ghana cedis. Kopim 500 Ghana cedis.
So it be easy like that.
Just like that.
So I'll go buy my dream car.
Por supuesto. Just visit wanaown.us and win some cool cash prizes.
It's Bemi.
Boom! Wanaown.
You be too much.
Play responsibly. Gaming can be addictive. Accredited and endorsed by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Your world, your stories, your moment.
Welcome to Metro TV.
From breaking news to uncovering the facts of the story. Breathtaking events, mouth-watering trends, and unstoppable entertainment, all in one place. From the banks and corporate institutions to shows that tell you all about the economy. Checking your pulse and keeping a steady heartbeat. Stories of love to blockbuster drama. From crazy fans and hat-pounding sports, we bring you shows and events the whole family loves. This is Metro TV, where every moment matters. Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Chicken.
Yeah, you know what to do. Parents, guardians, your Saturdays are about to be beautiful, exciting, and entertaining on Metro TV. You are going to enjoy what is called massive home entertainment with funny face. I am back again, children. We are about to celebrate in your schools. We are about to dance in your schools. We are about to do everything we'll do in your schools. You will enjoy, I will enjoy, neighbors will enjoy. Everybody will enjoy. Children, be ready. We are going to do chicken, cow and chicken, cow and chicken. You just flap your armpit, open it, flap it, open, flap. Yeah. You see me in your school, you just open your armpit and you flap it. Chucking, chucking, that's all. You know what to do, my brother.
Time with the Children's President, coming soon on Metro TV.
Across Ghana's cities and communities, one issue affects all of us: water, sanitation, and environmental health. As urban population grows faster than sanitation services, poor waste management continues to threaten public health and our goal of universal sanitation by 2030. Ghana has policies, infrastructure, and partnerships, but one thing that is missing is a strong central voice. And that voice is the Clean Report, a 1-hour weekly TV program produced by Ignite Media, bringing experts, field insights, and policy conversations together to drive behavior change.
The Clean Report, championing cleanliness, inspiring action, building a healthier Ghana. Showing every Friday from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. only on Metro TV.
In a time where noise is loud, but clarity is rare, one program is changing the conversation. Welcome to the Intelligence Desk. This is not a talk show. This is a working studio. Each week, we break down the biggest national and global issues from AI and digital transformation to trade, jobs, governance, and national competitiveness, and turn complexity into practical, usable knowledge. Sharp questions, structured thinking, real solutions built live on air. With resident resource person Dr. David King Boyson, the show moves beyond commentary, designing frameworks, mapping strategies, and holding decision makers accountable. From the big issue briefing to the strategy lab to the innovation and opportunity board, every episode delivers tools you can use. If you care about Ghana's future, if you value clarity over chaos, if you believe leadership requires intelligence, then this is your desk. The Intelligence Desk, hosted by RSM Kofi Dole Lawson on Metro TV, where Ghana thinks forward.
From finding your dream home to building a legacy for your family, the Homeowner Show has been your trusted guide.
How sure are you what you're getting is the right land? And it has to do with searches, land commission, checking social planning authority, checking everything to make sure that what you are buying is not a problem or a challenge-prone transaction.
The stress of even not owning a house and constantly coughing up to rent is a big issue.
Join me, Hannah Atiasi, and my distinguished panelists as we delve into exciting conversations. Season 3 of The Homeowner Show, every Saturday at 6 p.m., only on Metro TV. Don't just own a house, build a legacy for your family.
What was all this drama of coming to my class late today?
I told you I'm pregnant. What are you doing about it?
I said, Abado, why make up so?
Hey, what police are being teaching you? Shall we Phoebe? Shall not say I pass our bravo?
But why are you saying that?
That girl is a charlatan. It's a wolf in a sheep's clothing. A prostitute in disguise.
Abaya come so. Na bla ubo college mu ha eye.
My friend said if she come and come, since I'm a don't come and spoil my spiritual mood for me.
But you the other time the running away, Charlie, I think no you chop up. My food no.
Do you know how hungry I was that day?
For no say if you running there. If I bring am for no. One more thing, I will embark on a project like 1 boy, 3 girlfriends.
everyone, my name is Kauta Rafiq from Morocco Embassy. I am inviting all of the Moroccan community as well as all Africans to celebrate Cook Africa at Metro TV the 23rd of May, 9 a.m. as part of the AU Day celebrations. Morocco will be serving one of its most famous dishes, steamed lamb. Can't wait for you to try it and can't wait to meet all of you.
Guess what? Senegal is rapping at Cook Africa on 23rd May at Metro TV at 9 sharp. Hello, my name is Abby. I'm a Senegalese living in Ghana. I'm inviting all Senegalese, all Africans to come and enjoy Senegal food, to come and taste our most popular jollof rice called Stiebjen. So I'm inviting tous les francophones. Donc, où sont les Sénégalais? J'invite tous les francophones, tous les Sénégalais. Ana Sénégalais, maa ngi leen invité yéen ñëpp ngeen ñëw supporter seen jeeg le 23 mai à Metro TV. Bu ko kenn tardé.
Welcome back to Good Afternoon, Ghana. We're still here with you, and we're going to be having our last conversation. But before that, earlier on, we had a conversation on a book launch. That is A Woman by the Wise Builder by Mabel Zango Tanya Kulono. All right, there's a launch that's coming up on Saturday, the 16th, May 2026, at 4 p.m. at Lancaster Hotel, and ministration, that is song ministration, is by PACA Esther. So don't forget, Saturday, 16th May 2026, 4 p.m. Lancaster Hotel. And the title, once again, of the book is A Woman by the Wise Builder. All right, so we're going to now take a look at the cabinet meeting on the recommendations of the Constitutional Review Committee. And I have with me here an activist and founder of the Economic Fighters League, Ernesto Yeboah. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
All right, so let's talk about the recommendations.
Well, as in what we expect, or?
All right, so, I mean, before we get into that, I realized you hesitated a little bit. Let's talk about the Jolobi first, to sort of like give the foundation, and then from there we can talk about the recommendations.
Jolobi, what do you mean by Jolobi?
Jolobi is an organization by the Democracy Hub, an activist group that, 2023, the Occupy Jolobi protest, you don't know about that?
Okay, but that was somewhere, was it 2023? 23 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what has that got to do with is what I'm trying to get.
Okay. All right, so let's go into the committee cabinet meeting and then run us through what has happened so far.
Okay. So I'm not here to speak on behalf of the cabinet. I'm here to speak on behalf of the Economic Fighters League and what we have been involved in over the years. Our fight for a new constitution precedes the formation of the organization itself. And so hearing that today cabinet is sitting to bring out what they call their position on the recommendations of the Constitutional Review Committee is something that we welcome wholeheartedly and hope that they would prioritize a number of things. And I mean, we agree generally with many of the recommendations by the Constitutional Review Committee, but foremost amongst it for us is what we call proportional representation.
Okay.
And that is an electoral system that would change the dynamics of representation and leadership in the country, We want to see an end to the marginalization and exclusion of women in decision-making in our politics. We want to see an end to that. We want to see an end to the marginalization of young people in our politics, in our governance setup, and persons living with disability. I mean, same. And so the way the system works is that if you obtain 1% of the national votes, you get 1% representation in parliament. If you obtain 20% national votes, you have 20% representation in parliament. Why we feel this is a low-hanging fruit for President John Mahama's administration is the fact that, look at the number of young people President John Mahama has appointed, in this government. And he's not a newcomer in this. In his first administration, people actually accused him of that. Now, he's also the first person to have introduced a female running mate who went on to become a vice president. That is phenomenal, and that's something that we have to protect. But beyond President Mahama, he's going to hand over in a few years' time. Beyond President Mahama, how do we protect these gains? This is why we feel he's in the best position to make that happen, where the place of women in the leadership of our country, in the decision-making processes of our country, is legislated and becomes as a matter of right for women to be seated behind the tables of decision-making, and not at the benevolence of a president or someone who may have it or may not have it. Also for young people and persons living with disability. Look at Parliament today. Even though women constitute about 60% of the entire population, how many women do you have in Parliament? They are not even up to 5%.
Yeah.
Talk about young people. Talk about persons living with disability. I'm not sure there's anybody living with disability in Parliament. There's no blind, there's no person, physically challenged person. Are we saying that those group of people have nothing in their heads to contribute to national discourse, to legislation, and all of that? And so going forward, I think that this is something that President Mahama could highlight, or his cabinet, could highlight. And it's one of our biggest expectations. Once that is done, I'm sure the NDC, as a party, might actually win many elections to come, because Ghanaians would forever be indebted to the NDC, especially young people, that, hey, it is the NDC that created the opportunity for young people to sit behind the tables of decision-making legitimately. Women will say the same, persons living with disability will say the same. If you look at the last population housing census report, persons living with disability constitute over 2.5 million. That's a huge constituency. I don't know which politician is listening to me right now and who sees what I am seeing. I'm talking about raw figures, raw numbers, and what it can do for the fortunes of a party, even if that is how they want to look at it. But we in the Economic Fighters League are looking at it from the nationalist perspective, in the understanding that it is what is good for our country, and it is something that posterity would forever remember.
Economic Fighters League, how long have you been championing this cause? And then, can you tell us some of the influential women that are behind your organization, making sure that some of these wonderful things that you think we need to do for persons with disabilities and also women are done? Because at the end of the day, these wonderful people that you're talking about also have minds,
Absolutely.
great minds.
Cook Africa, Cook Africa, Cook Africa on AU Day. My name is Marcel, a typical Beninese, live in Ghana. I'm inviting all the Beninese or non-Beninese, I'm inviting all of you on the 23rd May at Metro TV at 9 a.m. sharp. I'm inviting